Hi, I'm Poonam, your English language coach, and in today's video, we are going to cover everything you need to know to prepare for a job interview, especially some commonly asked interview questions. Now, I'm not just going to give you sample answers, that's not enough. I'm going to teach you how to prepare for each type of question, how to structure your answers professionally, and how to sound natural, fluent, and confident even if it's your first interview. So we will divide this video in 4 clear sections. In first part, we will see how to describe your education. In second part, we will see how to talk about your skills and strengths. In third section, we will see how to describe your experience. And in fourth part, we will see how to answer behavioral and situational questions. So you are going to learn vocabulary, sentence templates, and techniques for real interviews. So grab your notebook and let's begin. Talking about your education. This part usually comes early in the interview. It's your chance to represent your academic background professionally. So let's start with the question. First question is, where did you study? This is a simple question on the surface, but how you answer it can tell the interviewer a lot about your communication skills, confidence, and how you represent your academic background professionally. And this is your chance to share your educational qualifications clearly, confidently, and in a way that connects your answer with the current job role you are applying for. Now, how to structure your answer? Start with most relevant qualification. Mention your highest and most recent degree first. Include the name of the degree, field of your study, and name of the institution. Highlight your academic achievements or relevant coursework. If you were a topper, received scholarships, or you pursued any special courses, do mention them as long as they relate to the job role. Keep it concise and confident. You don't have to mention all the schools you went to. Focus on what's most relevant to your professional identity. For example, I completed my bachelor's in computer science from Symbiosis Institute of Technology in 2022. During my course, I built a strong foundation in programming and data structures. I also worked on a capstone project where I developed a mobile application for local businesses, which gave me practical exposure to coding and teamwork. Next question is, why did you choose this course? Now, this question helps the interviewer understand your thinking process, interest, and how your education aligns with your career goals. Your answer should show that your choice of course wasn't random. It was a well thought out decision based on your interest, skills, and long-term career goals. Now, how to structure the answer? First, start with your interest or natural strength. What sparked your interest in this field? Was it a subject you enjoyed in a school, or any personal experience, or a curiosity? Next, link your interest to the course. Explain how that interest led you to choose the specific course or stream. Mention if the course offers something unique. For example, practical exposure, strong faculty, or industry relevance. Talk about your goal. Explain how this course fits into your career plan. It shows foresight and clarity. For example, I have always been interested in technology since school. I used to participate in coding competitions and loved problem solving. That interest naturally led me to choose computer science. I chose this course because it offered both theoretical knowledge and practical projects. The next question is, do you have any certifications? When the interviewer asks about certifications, they are trying to check, have you taken initiative to go beyond your formal education? Second, are you updated with current skills and tools relevant to your current job role? And third, do your certifications add any practical value to the job you are applying for? So instead of just saying, yes, I have a few certifications, use this question to showcase your effort, learning, and relevance to the role. Now, how to structure the answer? Start with certification name and the provider. Keep it credible, like Google, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Microsoft, HubSpot, etc. Next, briefly describe what the certification taught you. Even one line is enough. Focus on practical skills and knowledge you gained. Next, connect it to your career or job role. Explain how the certification made you better at what you do, or how it will help in a current job role you are applying for. For example, yes, I completed the Google Analytics certification through Coursera. It taught me how to track, analyze, and report website traffic effectively. I also completed a LinkedIn Learning certification in Excel for business. These certifications have helped me strengthen my analytical skills, which I believe will be directly useful in this role. Next question is, tell us something about your academic achievements. When the interviewer asks this question, they are not just checking your marks or ranks. They want to understand, are you someone who takes academics seriously? Have you shown consistency, dedication, and improvement in the course you pursued? And can you talk about your achievements without sounding arrogant? So your answer should reflect not just what you achieved, but also what it says about you as a learner. Now, how to structure your answer? Start with a highlight. Mention your highest academic achievement. It could be a rank, scholarship, award, or top marks. Next, add supporting achievements. If you consistently performed well or showed improvement, mention that too. Focus on effort and attitude. Explain how you achieved it. Self-discipline, time management, or love for the subject. Mention relevant coursework or projects. If your academic work included any projects, research, or presentations, include that to show depth. For example, one soft skill I'm really proud of is time management. For example, during my final semester, I had to balance preparing for exams, completing a group project, and applying for internships, all at the same time. Now, part 2, talking about skills and strengths. This is your opportunity to position yourself as the right fit for the job by talking about your abilities. Now, first question is, what are your strengths? Now, this question is all about your self-awareness and alignment with the job role. Interviewers ask this question to understand what you are naturally good at and whether these strengths will help their team or company. Here is how you can structure your answer. Choose 2-3 strengths that are relevant to the job. Back each strength with real-life example or result. Keep it professional. Avoid personal traits like I am funny unless it's related to the job. For example, during my internship, I regularly interacted with clients to understand their requirements and then coordinated with my team to deliver solutions. Now the next question is, what are your technical skills? This question helps interviewer understand if you have any tools or technologies required to do the job efficiently. But don't just list random softwares or programming languages. The key is to mention the skills that are relevant to the job you are applying for. Now here is how you can structure your answer. Start with a list of tools or technologies you are confident using. Mention the level of proficiency, whether it's basic, intermediate, or advanced. Say I'm comfortable with so and so, or I have working knowledge of this or that, rather than just exaggerating the answer. Next, share how and where you use these skills or tools. For example, did you use Excel to automate reports during your internships? Or did you use Python for your college projects? Briefly mention the context in which you use these skills. This makes your answer more valuable and believable. For example, in my college project, I used Python to build a chatbot that could answer basic queries. I also have intermediate knowledge of Power BI, where I created dashboards to visualize sales data during my internship. Question number 3. What is a soft skill you're proud of? This question is about how you work with others, adapt, communicate, and how you behave in a professional environment. While technical skills will get your foot in the door, soft skills will determine how well you will perform in a team or company. A strong answer here gives the interviewer a sense of your personality, attitude, and emotional intelligence. Now, how to structure this answer? Choose one strong soft skill that truly reflects who you are. Some great examples would be communication, teamwork, time management, empathy, adaptability, conflict resolution, active listening, and problem solving. Choose one that is relevant to the job and also something that you have used in your real life situations. Next, explain what it means to you. Don't assume the interviewer knows how you interpret that skill. Explain how you see it and how it matters in a work environment. And the final question is, can you handle pressure? This question is designed to assess your emotional intelligence, problem-solving skills, and ability to perform under stress. Every job has some pressure, so the interviewer wants to know, can you stay calm and still deliver when things get tough? The goal is to sound more composed, practical, and mature in your approach. Now, how to structure this answer? Start by acknowledging that pressure is natural. Show that you understand pressure is a part of work life and that you have learned how to manage it positively. Next, mention your method or strategy. What do you actually do when things get intense? And finally, share a real example. Think of a time when you had a tight deadline or a high workload or even an unexpected situation and how you dealt with it. For example, I believe pressure is part of any job and I try to handle it with proper planning. During my internship, I had to submit 3 reports within 1 week while also assisting with a presentation. Now let's move to one of the most important parts of any interview, talking about your work experience. Now some of you might be thinking, but Poonam ma'am, I don't have any experience yet. I'm applying for my internship. Or maybe you're applying for your first full-time job and you're nervous about how to present yourself. Don't worry. In this section, I'll explain how to talk about your experience no matter what stage you are in. First, let's talk about those who are applying for an internship. If you are a student or a fresher who is applying for an internship, remember, they know that you don't have years of experience. That is not a problem. What they really want to see is, are you willing to learn? Can you communicate effectively? Do you have a basic understanding of the field? So while talking about your experience in an internship, follow these steps. Step 1. Talk about your education or projects. Say what you have studied and what topics you are passionate about. Step 2. Highlight any small projects or freelance work. Even if it wasn't a paid job, if you have done it, it counts. Step 3. Emphasize your soft skills. Show them that you are hardworking, reliable, and ready to learn. Now, while talking about your experience for a full-time job, follow these steps. Talk about where you worked. Describe your responsibilities. Add any accomplishments. Even if it's a small achievement, it's worth sharing. Show what you learned. This shows that you are not just learning, you are growing. What if you have had more than one experience? That's great. Pick the most relevant one. One that is closest to the job you are applying for. You don't need to talk about everything. Stick to 1 or 2 roles that made the most impact. Now we are in the final section of this video, the most important round of the interview, behavioral and situational questions. These questions help interviewers understand how you behave in real life work situations. First question: tell me about a time you worked in a team. Now, this is a very common interview question, especially in a behavioral round. When the interviewer asks this question, they are trying to understand: can you collaborate with others? Do you know how to communicate and compromise? Are you someone who is willing to contribute positively to a team? So instead of just saying, yes, I like working in a team, give specific example from your past experience where teamwork was involved. Let me show you how to structure this answer. Use the STAR method. This method gives you clear and focused answer without rambling. So STAR includes S for situation. What was the situation? Give a little background. T for task. What were you or the team trying to achieve? A for action. What did you do? What was your role in the team? And finally, R for result. What was the outcome? What did you learn? For example, during my final year, our team had to create a mobile app as part of a project. My role was to design the user interface. I collaborated with my teammates by regularly updating them, sharing prototypes, and taking feedback. In the end, our app was selected as one of the top 5 projects in our department. Question 2. How you deal with conflict at work. They are not just asking if you have had conflict, they want to know how you handle it. Do you panic? Do you stay calm? Do you argue or listen? Now, how to structure this answer? Use the STAR method again. This STAR method works beautifully to structure this answer. Question 3. How do you prioritize tasks? This question is asked to check your time management skills, your decision-making process, and how you handle multiple responsibilities even under pressure. Now, when preparing for this question, begin by thinking: do you make to-do list? Do you use apps or planners? Do you focus on deadline first or importance? Start your answer by clearly mentioning your method or approach to prioritizing. Question 4. How do you stay motivated? When the interviewer asks this question, they are trying to understand 2 things. First, are you self-driven? Second, can you stay consistent even when things get tough? Now, how to structure your answer? Start by explaining your mindset. Are you goal-driven? Do you get satisfaction from progress? Do you find joy in learning? Talk about practical habits. Do you break big tasks into small ones? Do you reward yourself for achievements? Do you maintain a routine or stay close to a purpose? And finally, end with a confident takeaway. Reinforce that you are someone who can stay on the track even when the external motivation is low. 5th question. Why should we hire you? This is one of the most important questions you will be asked, and the one that will decide the outcome of your interview. Here, the interviewer is basically saying, convince me that you're the right person for this job. So your answer should be confident, concise, and tailored to the role. There is a 3-part formula I recommend for this. Highlight your relevant strengths or qualifications. Second, connect it to the job role. Don't just talk about yourself. Show them how those skills can help their team or company. Third, show enthusiasm and attitude. End with a sentence that shows that you are excited, committed, and ready to grow. This shows cultural fit, that you are ready to work well with the team. For example, I believe I'm a strong fit for this role because I have the technical skills you are looking for. For example, I'm proficient in Excel and Power BI, which I used during my internship to create automated dashboards. Along with that, I bring strong communication and teamwork skills, which I have demonstrated in both academic projects and internships. And that's it. You have just learned how to prepare for some of the most commonly asked interview questions step by step. We didn't just give answers, we learned how to think about your interview questions, how to structure your responses clearly, and how to speak with confidence and fluency. Now here is your homework. Pick any 5 questions from this video and write their answers in the comment section. I will personally go through them and give you feedback. If you find this video helpful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a lesson again. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep speaking, and all the best for your interview.